got a chance to see the sequel to The Accountant 2. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zenka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about The Accountant 2. Just came out this week. I have been looking forward to this one. Really enjoyed the first. Before we talk about that, remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can't subscribe to the channel, please do. Ring that bell, ding, ding. And get notified about when I release new videos. I know I've been on hiatus now for a couple of weeks. I tried to do some stuff, that I had lined up. So you may have not felt the entire 2 weeks because I did release one here and there, at least for the first week, and then I dropped off completely because I have been on a film for the past 2 weeks. So I've been working about 13 hours a day, getting up at 5 in the morning. I haven't done that in a very long time. Actually, I've been getting up at like 4:30 on some days. 5 o'clock was the sleep-in days. But it was fun. Made a lot of good friends, I think. Worked with some really good people. Hopefully I'll get hired back with this other company that I'm working with. Was Real Shorts, which if anybody knows what that is, it's a vertical where instead of shooting horizontally, you shoot verticals. So they actually turn the camera to shoot. It's pretty interesting. I really think that's the future of television, really. They're getting like 200 million views. And it's basically a soap opera that they're shooting. But I think it opens itself up to other genres, so I'm pretty excited to delve into that in the future as well and see how it grows. Streaming started out as web series that were shot very, very expensively, and now they're dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into a single feature. So I think that there's definitely room for this to grow. What's interesting is it's shot completely non-union, including the actors are non-union. So it's very interesting. But anyway, also remember, too, that I am on Amazon with my books, including my 4-novel series, Destiny Roar, the sci-fi one. That was also turned into a Audible. It's also on... we have the things on Kindle. And on top of that, it was turned into a board game, an RPG, and a graphic novel, which also should be up there. I have my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch, the autobiography, not autobiography, but a biography because I wrote it, for a World War II called Escape from Berlin. And on top of that, I have a horror book, kind of like Sixth Sense, called The Awakening. I'm working on a new book right now called Tales Battle for the Ruby Slipper. Whoa, got stunk there. Battle for the Ruby Slippers, and I'm working on my new comic, which is looking really, really good. The cover's coming in right now as well, called Fairy Tales of Terror. All right, so let's jump into The Accountant 2. Again, I was looking forward to this one. I really enjoyed the first. I've watched it several times. And Anna Kendrick does not return for this episode. I did see talks of Accountant 3, which I think they would probably wait to see if this one is successful before jumping in. This is a different type of film. So the first one was more like almost like a Jason Bourne type of situation with the guy who is an accountant in real life. I mean, that's his life, not in real life, but his life. And his sideline thing is working with this mob and laundering money. And then he goes in, basically saving this girl's life, type thing, as well as I guess they come after him as well, but they came after her too. Where this one is a complete departure from that. This one is a buddy movie. It's a buddy action movie, along the lines in the vein of Lethal Weapon. I love that turn. I think that this was meant to be a buddy movie. kind of like a, Murtaugh and Rigg situation, except you had Ben Affleck, who has almost like a Vulcan type situation where he is very analytical, he has no emotion, things like that. And then you have his brother, who is extremely emotional. Uh, I mean, he comes from, two different sides of the coin. Either he's extremely violent or he's like practically crying, you know? So each of them has such a diverse spectrum of what side they're on. So they become this odd couple. And I think that was really, really a smart move for a sequel where the sequel feels completely different than the original, but yet it has the same characters, the characters that you know. Very, very smart. So this is directed by Gavin O'Connor, who is also the producer-director on the first one. He also produced Warrior, so if you haven't seen Warrior, that's an amazing film. So he doesn't really direct much. He's like directs like every 5 years he directs something. So he's not a prolific director. I think he's more of a producer. Then it was written by Bill Dubuque, Dubuque, Dubuque. I'm not sure how to say that. It sounds maybe probably French. But anyway, he also wrote the first one. He also is the creator of Ozark, the TV show Ozark. He's probably the showrunner on that. That's pretty much all he's done in the original Accountant. So the original team does come back for this. Everybody is back in it again except for Anna Kendrick. So the entire team returns. J.K. Simmons returns as well. And on top of that, Cynthia Adai Robinson also returns. She plays Medina, and she is the catalyst of this. Where in the first one, really J.K. Simmons was kind of the catalyst, and here she's the catalyst. She is the one pushing everything forward. She is the one connecting everything together. And she is more of a television actress than a film actress. She did Rings of Power, but we won't hold that against her. Again, she was in the original Accountant. She was also in Power. She was in Shooter for, I think, the whole run of Shooter, the TV show Shooter. And then on top of that, she also played the Amanda Waller in Arrow. Of course, originally Amanda Waller was supposed to be very large. She's a large woman. But I can definitely, she definitely did a good job. Viola Davis does a better job, I think. But it's, Amanda Waller is kind of one of those characters that can kind of be played by different actors and still come off pretty well. But I think the standout here, of course, you also have the Justine character, who is the British voice that was his partner throughout of this. You see way more of her in this, and the actress playing her does a really good job, because we really didn't see her in the first movie. We see her like in a few seconds, but here she has an entire team, and it's real. I think that was a really good switch as well. But I think the big standout of this, even though she has a smaller role, is Daniela Pineda. She does a great job. She was in the Jurassic World series as like a computer geek. She's just a geek. But in here, she plays an assassin. Wow. She does fight scenes in here and stuff like that. I don't know how much, she did, that her stunt double didn't take over. But she pulled it. She was able to exude that dangerous type of thing. And that's hard to pull off sometimes. Sometimes with either men or women, when they try to come off intimidating, it just looks silly. But here she really pulled it off. I mean, there's if she wanted to do action, she has a very interesting look, more than I've like in this role, more than I've ever seen in Jurassic Park. She definitely has an interesting look that can make her an action star. I think if she wanted to go down that road, she obviously could, especially after you see this. I think she blew it out of the park. If she was looking to get a different dimension to her career, I think she could pull it. I think this will be definitely a standout for her, even with the small amount of scenes that she has in this. But the plot revolves around her as well. So the plot here is it's not very big. It's not a huge plot, and that may be a little bit detrimental to the film. I think is the fact that the plot is really not that interesting. So it starts out with J.K. Simmons starting this search for this family that was a illegal immigration family. I think, of course, they have to touch on that. But again, this was probably started several years ago. Because the other problem is, of course, this is also an $80 million feature. So, I mean, Ben Affleck, the other problem is I waited all the way to the end. Because at the end, it shows what rebate they got, where it was shot, and what rebate they got, and nothing came up. And that immediately told me that it was shot in a non-rebate state, which is silly. Why would you shoot this in a non-rebate state? And Ben Affleck has gone on record, he has a video out that's kind of going viral right now, saying that everything is leaving Los Angeles, which is exactly why I left Los Angeles, and that, everything is going to the rebate states, which of course I knew. That's why I moved to a rebate state. But they shot this in Los Angeles and in Santa Clarita, which is where all the desert stuff is. Santa Clarita is where I shot my Western. It's where they shot Westworld and Django and Deadwood and all that stuff. It's all Santa Clarita. And some of the Western towns. If you go to Santa Clarita, it's kind of set up like a Western town, not to the point where it has like rows of Western stuff, but all the look and feel of everything, of all the architecture, is all old Western stuff. So I love Santa Clarita. I think Santa Clarita is beautiful. If I was going to live anywhere, it would have been there. But I didn't really move out of the valley too much. Everything got way too expensive. But anyway, so I don't know why they shot this in a non-rebate state. So when it's $80 million, it's $80 million. Because if they had shot this here in Georgia, which they definitely could have done, they would have saved 30% on it, or at least 20. I know they were flying actors and stuff like that, but they would have saved at least 20%, and 20%, is $16 million. On an $80 million movie. So I think that was a bad move. So they're on the hook for the full 80. And it's too much for this film. That budget is too high. So if you double it, it's $160 million. And even if they use another $50 million in marketing, you're looking at over $200 million. So they have to raise, $200 to $230 million this has to make. It's not going to make that. They have to do $100 million this weekend to get $230 million. It's not going to happen. So this movie's going to lose money. That's why I'm surprised they're already, greenlighting an Accountant 3. Pretty crazy. But anyway, the storyline is that he's looking for this family, and ends up, Cynthia takes her, Mardina takes his job in the Treasury Department, and the British voice is still feeding her information that's raising her up the ranks, and she's told to go find the accountant to help her find this family. So he does. Then he reaches out to his brother Braxton, and they become the Riggs and Murtaugh odd couple. It's great. It really is. And meanwhile, he's trying, after the thing with Anna Kendrick, he decides that he can possibly have a relationship and, goes on like a Tinder type of thing. And he has a line of women waiting to meet him because, he's 6 foot whatever. And he's an accountant, so they feel like he's got money. So he's got looks and money, but then they sit down with him and realize he has no personality whatsoever. And the line dancing scene was great because he can't line dance, he can't dance, but because a line dance has a limited amount of movements that he can calculate, he ends up being a good line dancer. Very, very good. And not only me, because I do laugh at shit, but the whole the whole theater was laughing at the points it was supposed to laugh at. So it had comedy to it. It had a lot of heart to it. And the action scenes are great. The fight scenes are great. The gun scenes are great. The end scene turns into a full gun battle, and it's really, really good. So I definitely recommend the film. And I don't know what was going on with the theaters yesterday, because I walked around to the other theaters. Yes, it was Friday night. It's true, because I just got off the movie as well. So I had been up since 5. My movie was at 9. I didn't get out till midnight. And I stayed awake through the whole thing. I was just tired of shit, though. I slept like 9 hours today. Crazy. So, because I've gotten like maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep, the last 2 weeks every night, except for like Saturday and Sunday. But yeah. But anyway, the theater was full. The theater was full. There was a lot of kids around. I know that Minecraft is out, but Minecraft's been out for like 3 weeks now. So I'm like, this is, kids on 9 o'clock at night on a Friday night. What's really Minecraft? But I had forgotten about Star Wars. Episode 3 is out. They're re-releasing Episode 3. And they're basing that thing's going to make, and the theater was full. I walked into the theater, I watched the scene of it, and it was full. And they're estimating that thing's going to make like $35 million. So that may end up in the top 3. I'm sure it's going to end up in the top 3. And a $20-year-old movie. Crazy. Just goes to show you, though, that the old Star Wars can still do it. And I absolutely hate. I hate that one. The first 2 prequel movies, I can watch those over. The third one, I hated it. I hated it. I hate it just as much as I hate the second of the sequel movies. So. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm going to give this an 8. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. I will be watching it again. I liked it. I thought it was fun. It's a fun action movie. There's not a whole lot of plot, which is it's detrimental to it, and that's why it's not going to go up any higher than an 8. But it just was fun. I liked seeing all the characters back again. I liked seeing Affleck play that role again. I think he does even a better job with it this time because he tries to have some fun with it. And Bernthal, but the only problem with Bernthal is he plays the same exact thing as the Punisher. So I just kept seeing him as the Punisher in this thing because he acts exactly the same as he does in Daredevil. Exactly the same. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have seen it, let me know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Am I overrating it? It is pretty good on Rotten Tomatoes right now as well. So a lot of people are liking it. So anyway, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great week.